Okay, welcome everyone. Our seminar gonna start right in 10 seconds. Okay, how about that? Thank you so much for spending the Sunday afternoon with us. And I'm Cecilia Hampton. I'm from KW Allen office. And today we have quite a few people here in the meeting room. David cannot see us, but we have about 15 people here. So very welcome all of us, and some people. We're gonna take a recording this through this seminar, and we will have it post share with our other agent and our client, other clients as well in the near future. Thank you, David. So everyone just briefly introduce you to Mr. David Huang on the screen, that he is from Lubbock. He is our builder, and he has been lived there over 12, 13 years now. And I will let David to start some introduction, because he has tremendous, at least seeing the growth and the city, a lot of the detail stuff. And while he's talking, we're gonna play a video that we hired the professional marketing people that went to Lubbock and shoot together. So I'm very glad that I've seen many of us here today is from our team as well. Thank you all for coming. And because we couldn't make everyone to go there together, but we did have Howard first, that he joined us, and later we will have him also share some his thoughts with us. Then we will talk about particular on the project and the return on investment analysis. So David, take on. We're gonna play, can we play the video, please? Thank you.
Oh,
okay.
All
David.
right, Cecilia, thank you.
Yeah, David,
thank you so much for,
yeah.
Yes, can you guys hear me? Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect.
Sure.
Go on.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to this seminar. So my name is David Huang. I'm the co-founder and part owner for Lincoln West Group. My group, we have 3 entities we operate. We have Lincoln Northwest Group, we have Dynamic Homes, and we have Nesloni Homes. So we're only building in Lubbock, Texas, and we have 3 levels of products that we provide here. The most, and I think a lot of people come to Lubbock, if you're an investor, they're looking at entry-level duplexes and townhomes, and we have about 40 more doors to finish the neighborhood. Cecilia is helping us today. And also we have a lot of single-family homes. We build them as semi-custom homes. So they used to be called spec homes, but we let people actually choose some of the finishes. Those homes we build between 380,000 to 600,000. So that's our second tier. And then we also have the higher end custom homes that usually starts around 800,000 to 1.5 to 2. We actually have one home right now. We're building in South Lubbock. It's about 11,000 square foot. That might be, $3.5 to $4 million project. So definitely, I know a lot of you guys here, Cecilia invited you guys to talk about a little bit about our duplex project. So Lubbock has always been the place where outside money, for example, California money, if they know somebody who lives in Lubbock, they want to invest in rental income properties, this has always been the place in West Texas for people to bring the money from California, invest. Because 10 years ago, when my family came over here, the return was actually stupidly high. You can actually get a net return on rental income properties over 11% if you find a good deal, net return. I remember at one time my father bought a old house, old apartment complex, and based on the math, the rent actually pays it off in 7.5 years. That was how good it was. Now, and I think one of the things driving the rental market here is Texas Tech. Texas Tech grew from 25,000 students in 2009 to 41,000 students this year. And I was actually just talking to a professor on Friday the plan for Texas Tech is keep growing to 60,000 students. So, on the east side of Texas Tech, those are apartments built by McDougal companies. And those are really for the first year and second year students. And that's a great neighborhood for the younger kids who wants to party and know each other. But what we've noticed is the older kids who are more into studies, who are more into trying to graduate and get a job or prepare for graduate school, they want to move away from the so-called Texas Tech terrace or apartments on the east side of university and moving to these townhomes and duplexes. So back in 2000, 2003, the developers over here start building an older neighborhood called Linwood that we actually, there was about 400 units of duplex built and filled up in 1 year or two, actually 1.5 years. And then that served the purpose for the past, between 2003 and 2012. And then Tech started growing from 25,000 students to now 40,000 students. We're looking at a new phase of building more duplexes for the older students. So that's where Lincoln 16, my development, comes in to build more duplexes over there. So one of the other things, I want to share today is Lubbock is going to be, and it's already the center of West Texas. We have about directly north of Lubbock, that's Amarillo. It's about an hour, 40 minutes drive. Directly south of Lubbock is Midland. The problem with those two cities is that they don't have a huge, stable, major industry. For example, Amarillo is very agriculture based, but they don't have a good hospital system over there. So a lot of people from Amarillo are retiring, coming to Lubbock, versus in the southern part, we're talking about Midland and Odessa. And especially, what happened last year during COVID, the oil price, it's always been a roller coaster for a lot of oil people. Some good years to make 150,000 for a high school graduate. Sometimes, a $400,000 pay job, a management member will get laid off with 2 months of notice. So the oil industry has always been a roller coaster. So that's why people in Midland, they're actually paying a lot more for their housing, but they don't get a stable job. A lot of them wants to move to Lubbock to find more stable jobs. The other thing that's driving Midland people moving to Lubbock is that I think about 40% people work for the oil companies. They're actually field workers. They have to go out to somewhere in New Mexico, west of Midland and Lubbock, about 2 hours drive every day. And it turns out that it's the same driving distance from Midland as from Lubbock to the job site. So a lot of them rather live in Lubbock, paying a little bit less for housing and more stable. And Lubbock is the only city in West Texas right now has a Costco, and Lubbock has developed probably 100% more in the past decade. When we first moved here, we bought a house on the southernmost street, 98th Street, 97th, and it was just cotton field south of 98th. Right now, I'm building houses on 160th Street, and I'm building custom houses over well over 200th Street. So Lubbock has always been a very stable market for growth. And one of the things we talked about was 2007, 2008, where we had the subprime crisis. Actually, Lubbock that year put more permits than 2006, and then the housing price really didn't get affected at all. So this has always been a risk shelter for people who want to put money towards stable income real estate properties. So right now, Lincoln 16, we're finishing up the first phase of 10 duplexes as a trial run. And the only problem we're having right now is we can't finish them on time so the renters can move in. Every duplex we finish on day one. The second day, we have to have renters. We will have renters going in there already. We have a line of renters needs places to stay. And I think it's going to be worse next year just because Tech is recruiting more students for next year. And Lincoln 16, the older part is called Linwood. The 400 older units are always filled up. It has a reputation for student housing. Now Lincoln 16 is the new division, and everybody knows a lot of people who's living in Lincoln 16 now. So next year when we have new students, these new kids will automatically come to Lincoln 16, look for housing. So I think next year and the year after, there's about 400 duplex in Lincoln 16 overall. I think this neighborhood will get filled up pretty soon, in the next 2 to 3 years anyways. So it's definitely a very good investment property for people who want to park their money on rental income real estates. So I'm not sure if anybody, I feel like a lot of people have heard about Lubbock. Not a lot of people actually have been here before. The city grew from 235,000 population to 330,000 in the past decade. We're talking about 35% population increase. Now, the interesting thing about Lubbock is we're serving 1.2 million population. We're serving about 40% people from New Mexico coming over here for medical, visits. From my understanding, there is not a good hospital or medical facility either in Albuquerque or Santa Fe or Clovis or Artesia. There's just not enough staff over there, not enough doctors wants to live in New Mexico to serve the high population. So a lot of people who are in a retirement age or older, they're all coming to Lubbock to visit doctors. And what we're seeing right now is they're selling the houses in New Mexico and get to move to Lubbock. One thing I noticed since last year is you will see a lot of New Mexico license plates on the street. You see them every day. You see them every day, every parking lot. That means there's a lot of people coming here. On the other end, my mom has a education service company, and we work with a lot of high schools here. We went to high school graduations back in May, and every school had about 10 to 15 families had students transferred from New Mexico to Lubbock to finish school, because with this whole COVID situation over there, it's another story that they don't want to deal with the local government. So long story short, we're getting a lot of people, 40% people from eastern part of New Mexico, including Albuquerque, coming to Lubbock, has a plan to retire. And we got 20% people from Colorado wants to come to Lubbock and still visit doctors. So the city also produce about 65% of cotton in the United States. One other thing I learned last year, I actually didn't know, Lubbock is the second largest wine bottling region in the United States, right behind Napa Valley. Brownfield, Southwest Lubbock, about 30 minutes. It's got hundreds of vineyards. They're doing wine bottlings. And then also a lot of oil people wants to live in Lubbock and go to field jobs, and then medical, and definitely Texas Tech. We have a lot of traveling nurses actually lives in Lincoln 16 right now. So one nurse will rent out, who works in Lubbock will rent out one side of the duplex and rent out the rest of 2 rooms to their colleagues traveling from Dallas or Colorado to Lubbock. So the rental market is really, really heavily focused medical and students, which I think is the most stable form of rental property that you can get. And on top of that, our experience is, the students rental are really the best because the parents are the guarantors on these properties. So if the student is late in rent or they damage the property, these students, their parents actually they feel they're obligated to pay because they don't want a $500 to hurt their bill or hurt their credits. So the student-based, I hear a lot of people are worried about students because they think students throw parties and damage things. To me, I think if you have a renter in there, things will get damaged anyways. But we've run into more problems seeing the younger families damage something and left the house rather than a student damage something and try to collect rent from them. It's actually much easier. So this is the whole idea of Lincoln 16 we're building on, and we're building 6 bedrooms, 6 baths because every student wants their bathroom. We're the only builder actually doing duplexes that way because we're building from from an investment perspective. So I think that's all I have for now for Lincoln Northwest Group, Lincoln 16 project. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I can try to answer.
Thank you, David. I think that was very good introduction of the Lubbock. And I don't know if we have any questions right now, or do you like to move to the next phase? Then maybe later we can have the Q&A question time together. Yeah. Lubbock, okay. Lubbock it's population, yes. Yes. Okay. So David, one person is asking about the age group of the renter, right? Is okay for my understanding, this particular, especially this particular location and project, is way more heavier on the student housing type
I
rather
would say,
than, all state.
yes, I would say
Yeah.
the older undergraduate student, like the juniors and the sophomores, but more heavily on the graduate school students. I would say right now on the first phase, I mean, Cecilia, you've been there. I think we have some medical school students. We have a lot of nursing students there. So I would say the older group of students, because the younger ones want to stay close, a little too close to tech to me, because they can throw parties.
Thank you. I actually had one printout news just last week released that Brookfield said to plan $1 billion on U.S. student housing venture, which, you know, this company is already largely hold a lot of the student, especially on student housing. And it's they have founded in 1999, operates a portfolio of 58,700 beds in 29 U.S. states already, and near campuses, including the University of South California, Arizona State University, and University of Texas at Austin, and also a lot more Texas universities. So this is different, another trend to come that people need to pay attention on those kind of things. But to answer Elaine's, your particular question, how much percentage, I don't have that number right now, but all the students that you could only imagine, as David explained, that right now has over 41,000 students just on the Texas Tech campus itself right now, and they are also expanding more. And there are 3 other decent size of the universities in the Lubbock, just the city as well. So it is, but I will start my PowerPoint presentation. Then some of the questions you probably can see from there, okay? Thank you, David. We will circle back with you if we have any other questions, but thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, so this is the beautiful picture that we took with our own drone camera the other day. About a month ago, we went there, and this is a whole, actually, the just Texas Tech campus, a portion of it. So it's huge campus, but we're gonna start from here. Thank you. Okay, the city's introduction, the Lubbock, I think overall many people already know that is on the west side of the Texas, and it has become one of the largest growing cities in the United States as well, except only in Texas. But right now they have over a population of 290,000, and I've recently just heard it's already exceeded 300,000. But also the nickname for this city is called Hub City, just like David previously explained, that a lot of the people live in Colorado and New Mexico come to Lubbock very often on different reasons. And so this has shown on the population growth that in the past about, is that right, 100 years, started from 1,900 people, and nowadays it has over 300,000 people now. And here's the thing, once you exceed that 300,000 number, the base of the growth is much larger. Then they're gonna become faster and faster pace. And also it will have the next page to show that how much the housing units and also the growth rate in the next 10 years. But from this projection that in 2018, we had 261,000 population, and actually had a projection at that time in 2021 will only have 279,000, but actually the number already outpaced the projection numbers back then. So now the numbers already exceeded 300,000, which back then they projected around 2024 to be past that number. So the city itself is outpacing the growth projection. And this one is one of the PowerPoint I often use when we look at our population overall in United States, that when we took the the lighting from the space, actually they have satellite. Yes, thank you. They have, we have seen in 2006, then the next, the arrow pointing is the Lubbock, and the next, this page is 2020. As you can see, the lighting is getting so much larger as long as like the Dallas area, etc. But if you can see, can we go back one more time, then switch it? There you go. Okay. So this one particular, I want to point this out, is it is the trend that's why we don't want to invest in the wrong areas, is meaning the growth areas, that if you see the east, especially on the north and east coast, there's not too much growth rather than many other states, especially heavily on the Texas and along the Mexico coast. So there's the economists said that we call that the smiley face for the growth to overall the country, is like you are thinking about a smiley face on the country, then it's heavily around West Coast and the bottom part of the country. So people have that trend to move from the north, a little bit colder places to the warmer places as well. And the next one is the education resources. That is one of the biggest reasons that people go into Lubbock and stay here, study here, and also have, raise their family and kids, then continue stay there for education, the purpose. And also the core ideas about when we talk about investment is to look at not only the return today, but the return or the potential of that city itself or the area itself in the longer run. So here's why we look at those ideas. We want to know what is a plan in the next decade or 20 years or 40 years. So this is, we took the study on the cities that they released their plan until 2040, which we like this a lot, that you can see the picture on the left, that to show you those major corridors, basically, that from the north, south, and east, west, that direction. And also on the other side, the picture is the existing land use plan. And also they are building their second loop already, the city itself. So we have not only talked to David, the builder just shared some information with us, but we also talked to many other, including KW Lubbock office, the leader. She has lived there over 13 years, and she has also seen tremendous growth and the potential, great potential for the city as well. So there's a lot of the vacant land, just like today, if you drive along 380, you can see a lot of vacant land, but on the other hand, if you go to the city, you already know those land already has been either entitled or already have the plan that whatever coming very soon. So as same as Lubbock situation, there's a lot of the big developers, even including D.R. Horton, already located, got into the Lubbock market. And this page is again showing how many only on the education side of the Lubbock, how many students, and not counting the staff level and the many teachers yet. So they have been very, very large, heavy occupancy for the those kind of student housing or any type of investment housing. And also the medical resource that in Lubbock is one of the largest reason people keep going there as well. That, we have been there I have been there 3 times already. And every time I saw those just a huge medical buildings and complex that, they're also very famous for many degrees of the spine, like doctors, and also Texas Tech has quite a few majors that related to the medical. Those are very good, from the education side, and then transfer to their job opportunities as well. Those are all the buildings that in Lubbock, those, again, they cover a lot of the different type of the insurances that even we know, like I had my back problem and my neck problem, then sometimes even for me to schedule a good doctor here in Dallas, I'm gonna wait like 2 weeks. I really don't understand why, but they said, oh, you should come to Lubbock and they can get me the next day. So it's like, okay, if I get really worse, I probably need to go there, but I hope not. But anyway, they have a very good sources that to cover also different type of the insurance, because every time my family got doctor would say, oh, I have to check and see your insurance whether be covered with this particular referral I'm gonna send you to. But they actually cover a lot of different type and much easier. And this is another form that to show those studies that there's many main occupations is made of the high income people. Also, we didn't mention is oil and gas too much, but this city is also has a lot of the old money in the city and very wealthy, and people, they don't, many people, they don't cook at home at all. There was a funny, interesting story that one of the people, they were sitting at home, they put a particular note on the kitchen counter is that brand new kitchen, never been used, the oven, and even though the house is 5 years old, but we never cook in the house. So they spend their entertainment is huge in the city as well. And every day there's more than 57 new residents move into the city. So we all know Dallas is big, but Lubbock is just as fast as Dallas. That's why when we really identify this city, we felt this is just like 8 years ago, Dallas just getting into that point that starting to going up and higher, get higher and higher. And with all the good support on the backside, I see support means, infrastructure and economy and all the different type of the living related concept. So there's also Costco, HEB, Market Street. Actually, Market Street is start from Lubbock. And also the famous restaurant, Mexican restaurant, Abuelos, it is from Lubbock, and they have about 40 restaurants nationwide. So there's many of the good, the brands that you could only imagine. There are Starbucks just everywhere, and all the Chick-fil-A and even the KFC, those have some much nicer buildings that I've never seen in the other cities in Lubbock. So this is another location map that we're showing where this project located just a few minutes away from Texas Tech and the hospital buildings. That is just outer loop on the northwest side of the city. And it's about, only 15, 16 minutes to many other city places in the city. So it's very easy to travel to different places. And this page also detailed that the location itself is only, again, 5 minutes to Tech and 7 minutes to Costco and airport, Amazon factory, that is all about 10 minutes. And this is the property, the detailed floor plan. I don't know if you have paid attention when David was explaining that what's the difference, the product type that they have built 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2-car garage and mirror to each side. So it is total 6 bedrooms, 6 bathroom and 4 garage, and each one of them also have the patio on the backside, along with the little smaller yard. But if someone has pet, they can also have a little bit of space for their their privacy as well. And the highlight for this project that is also the property tax, number 1, that is very on the low end, only 2.1%. And there's no HOA fee. And also the property management fee on the monthly basis is 7%, but they don't charge any commission at front for finding the tenants. And refrigerator included, and also has the builder warranty, 1 to 10-year warranty from the builder as well. And one thing I do want to point out is the builder just, David, and he has a very good team that he has been hiring those good subcontractors that work with them. Previously, he had the one example, like the people tenant just move in and found one of the tenant for some reason step into the attic, then step into the insulation and went through broke the ceiling in the garage. Then they had like called the builder. Then at the 10 o'clock, in the evening time, the builder sends someone out and fix the problem. Then it's just like they have the people on site all the time, and they live in the city. So it's we feel very good being taken care of those things. And all those pictures we took ourselves, but just want to share with you all that is a very nice finish. And then the whole house, there's no carpet, and also the ceiling height is 9 feet, and every single bedrooms has the fan with the light in there, as you could only imagine, like Dallas right now. If you go to buy a house like from Nanar or DR Horton, many times they don't finish even the garage, and they don't even install the garage opener, and they never give you another fan in the secondary bedrooms nowadays. But those are all the details. But I mean, it makes much easier that as investor, you already have those things covered up front. Okay, property management. This to me is very important. You know, the one of the things that I worry a lot up front. So I have to identify whoever will be the best, the property management company I can work with, because I managed my home in Dallas back then, and I know how much trouble you could get into, or how much work, because we consistently working with the investors, even though we don't manage ourselves for our client here in Dallas. But this is one of the companies that we very much qualified up front a lot, ask all the detailed questions, and they have been helping a lot of the hundreds of the investors. And the next picture, please. The manager herself, the owner of this company, she actually owns at least 60 or 70 units herself. And her husband actually is one of the famous doctor in town. And she doesn't need to work, okay? But she likes to own, since she managed her own units already, and she's wonderfully working with and has good experience. And so we have decided to work with her, hired her to on the management side, but they've been always in town and answer our calls and the questions. Okay, so this one from the PowerPoint, I just want you to look at first, but I will show in the Excel as well. This is all when we do the return on investment analysis, that we input all those numbers. And this is the best tool. I would identify that best tool so far for me, that almost in the past 10 years, I've been using it, and every time just make it so much more sense to any investors. But I want to help every one of us here to understand where those numbers come from and how to, you know, really look at those. The first of all is the price, that purchase price for this one is $425,000. And the down payment as investment home is at least 20 to 25%. So we put 25% here. And the mortgage is $318,750. And the interest rate, we put that about recent rate, that is 3.5 for 30 years. And so on the monthly cost, that is PMI, is principal and interest, that together is $1,421. And the property tax and insurance and all the management fee on the monthly basis add together is $2,336. And the rent for this duplex that is $3,200 a month. So you get your cash return on the monthly basis is 863. And ROI is return on investment. That is the 863 divide your investment number, which is your down payment. And if you're using the cash, then you don't have interest, but you will have sorry, take one step back, is ROI on the mortgage is exceeded almost 10%, which, you know, is very high, that much higher than we can see in Dallas area and many others. Also, if you use cash, a cash on cash investment return is 6.45. Again, this is way better than many other opportunities and properties in Dallas area, or especially like Austin, or some others, don't even mention California. So those numbers are horrible there. But now, can you please switch to the Excel sheet? Any questions so far? Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. So now we're showing the Excel. Excel, can you, let me do this. I put on the formula so you can see it. So the number, this one that you got is B15, which is your monthly return, then times 12, which is 12 months. So a year, and divide the D3, which is your down payment. So how much money you invested at the beginning, then you get annual return on that. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is 6.45. Yes, so that's the same calculation that use the D15, which is per month, then times 12, then divide how much money you originally invested, which in this case is 425,000. Yeah. So this Excel is where those numbers that you can play with, and also this is also related to the how many years of the term, and how much is your interest rate. So you can play around with different type of the investment, different investment dollars from the beginning. And if you scoot down, here has a little share with, let me explain that deductible. That is whenever you own an investment property, that you can put all those numbers that at end of the year to file your tax, those can be tax deductible. And also you could even get some of the tax benefit, even though I leave the blank here, but you need to work with your CPA most likely, because this is the advantage to do the investment home, is that you have the depreciation on the property 27.5 years depreciation, then average out to do the tax deductible here, which is already in the line of the 26 depreciation. Here's the idea that we love to do this type of the investment is, a lot of time I call this my child education fund or my retirement fund, because this is why we do it and how to play with that. when my son was born, I bought my first investment home, and I put my down payment down. And of course, you need a little bit saving up front. And then I did a 15-year loan. Then my son grew up in the 18 years, and then by the age he needs to get into the college, I can sell the home. Then that money can be reserved during the time that I'm holding my house. And the benefit is that by doing the 15-year loan, that is, well, first of all, I don't take much cash out every month, but it could different balance out. Then also my renters has been paying my mortgage, so I don't save extra money, but I save extra money on the side. In 2, 3, 4 years later, I buy another one. Then that's how I did my second home, that for my daughter. So also, you know, this is also while we're working, getting busy. But if we say, hey, we're in the, you know, late 30s or 40s, then we start building my retirement plan. Then this is one of the good things that we also can consider. So like I'm foreign people here, I don't have a good 401k or, you know, but I feel like this is way better way to protect my retirement on my end, rather than put some money, you know, even though my husband has, like, but he never feel like he trusts the government much by the age when he never needed money yet. So you don't know where the money gonna go, but you know, we have some financial expert here too, but she knows that, you know, but we also diversify some different type as well to protect different, make sure we have all covered. And the last portion of this form is the appreciation. So this is the good thing, that whenever you think about real estate, and this is why we identify Lubbock rather than maybe Las Vegas or Florida. Even though sometimes you could say, okay, I want my vacation home or whatever that thing, and even sometimes I can stay there myself. But the thing is, I don't like to invest some of the cities that has not very stable growth, or could go up and down that much. For example, in the 2009, 2008, Las Vegas's price has crashed 40%. And Dallas back then has went down 10 to 15%. But whenever it's time to back up, Dallas is backing up like just straight line back up, not even, you know, take the long time. And my first investment home, as I mentioned, I bought for my son, was in 2013. And I already got my license at that time. I already started my business, but I added about $3,000 on top of the asking price. You could only imagine at that time, even though the house was pretty cheap considered today, but I still already started, you know. So then afterwards, you could only imagine, you already in the business, live here, you know, our price keep going up. So Lubbock is the city like this. It's very stable. It probably won't give you 10% on the annual basis, the return, but we have put very conservative 4% on the annual growth, that if you hold this house for 5 to 6 years, because real estate investment is not short term, it's a little bit longer term. So put 4% on an annual growth, and then by year 6, that if you sell, this house could worth $517,000. Then your total appreciation in 6 years is about $92,000, and the yearly appreciation on the price appreciation on the house itself is 18,000. Then you add together your yearly income that is give you the total of 28,777. Then bring your return on investment 27%. Questions? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. No minute limit. Bring your bid-ins. Yes, because this number is very real because I'm telling you the house I bought for my son, actually I already sold it. Why I sold it? Because the house was a little bit older now. But this is the same concept. I sold that house, I put in the newer house. So you actually, then when I calculate my return, that house is actually 25% to 23% on the annual return. So this is how good you can also do. Yeah. Yeah, in McKinney. Yeah, because the magic thing is here is the mortgage, but if it's cash on cash, you only exceed about 10%. Mortgage is the one giving you all the appreciation. That's a key, but you have to pay a little bit capital gain. But that's okay. I'm already very satisfied. I sold my house in April, May, but it wasn't the highest, but pretty good, decent. I actually sold those two houses. Those are both were in McKinney. I don't know if you remember. I had shared with our office back then. I said those are a few houses that with the tenants in there with the current lease. If you want that, you can contact me. There was quite a few agents contacted me, but we actually sold both to some of our investors out from California, and another one is from New York. But they were very happy because, they already have the tenant, the house is in a good, still decent condition. It's just a little bit older to me, but that's the point. That questions? Okay, I guess. Yeah. Yes, this year. Yeah. So I reserve a duplex here too. Yeah. And also, we do some other commercial stuff, and because I really like this concept, it's the demand is not like because of some good economy then come along then getting better opportunities, those kind of type of thing. It's always the demand there. Yeah. Yeah. And so if you don't have any questions, I do want to have our Howard, he can share with us a little bit because last time he went to Lubbock and he had probably some ideas that he would love to share with us. Howard.
Thank you so much for joining us today. That was a great presentation, CC. Thank you so much. I'm just going to sit down here. So the first thing on an investment is, who's building the property, who is got this investment. So you just met David. David is a first-class act. I call him the mayor of Lubbock because every place we went, whatever restaurant we went into, wherever we were, people were constantly coming up to him, from blue-collared workers that work for him, or other. I think we had a doctor come up to him, say hello. I mean, he knows everybody there, so he knows this market. And it was. I grew up basically. I went to SMU. I've been in this market 40 years now. I've been to Lubbock once before. I've sold investment grade properties all throughout this country, from California, Las Vegas, Florida, New York. And I love what David has accomplished with what he's doing there. He's a single family builder. All his properties are first-class properties. That's one of the key things, just walking around, just being quiet and observing what was going on. The toughest thing for David is the workman, being able to get people to show up on time, to complete the work, which if you talk to anybody in Dallas or any place in Texas, you're going to find the same thing. And he stays on it. That's probably his biggest headache, because I asked him, what's your biggest headache? And that's what he said. It's just trying to get the workmen to come in on time, complete the work, and keep moving forward. So he's been able to accomplish probably 90% of that. The second thing is the market. If you look at the market in Lubbock, it's continuing to grow, as CC has shown you, but I just couldn't believe the number of cranes that were up in the air on the commercial side of things. I look at the commercial side of things, not so much as the residential, but the commercial side, and it's a boom. You've got Texas Tech, which is 41,000 students now. So what kind of schools are they building? They're building nursing schools, and the people are staying located in the area from school. So that's another prime example of how you're going to be able to feed the product that you have on the ground. I love that. The tech is another big growing industry that they have in Lubbock, which David talked a little bit about, but it's a tremendous marketplace. It's not just oil and gas. And then the medical side of it, it's as probably MD Anderson is the biggest thing I've seen in Houston when I lived in Houston. And it's the same there. It continues to grow. Doctors are coming in from all over the country to get their training, and a lot of them are staying instead of going back. That was really interesting to hear that and see that. So the population, if you look, somebody mentioned the demographic profile. We have a profile, I believe, on the property that we can share with you, but it actually talks about the age and what those people like to do. Do they like to travel? Do they like to entertain? A lot of it's eating out. A lot of it's entertainment. They spend a lot of money on entertainment, and those are things that you like because they have the discretionary income. When I first started working for Rosewood in Plano, Plano was 75,000 people. We're close to 300,000 people now, and they didn't have enough discretionary income. Lubbock isn't quite there yet. It's coming. It's strong. It's getting better, just like Plano. But now there's a lot of discretionary income in Plano, which is one of the things that you need to look at when you're looking at an investment, especially from a townhome apartment complexes that you buy. So you've got some of the key indicators that I think will continue to grow in Lubbock. I was just so shocked, and I still talk to Cece about this on the plane trip back. I'm amazed how strong Lubbock has come around, and unlike a Houston really has really relied more on the oil and gas industry. Lubbock did the same. Now they've got industries that are actually equal to the oil and gas industry. So I like that as well. And those are really the comments that I have. The returns are good returns here. There's no state income taxes, you all know. That helps bring in investors into Texas. It's got a strong return for anybody investing in this. The other key thing I will mention is the management company. I looked at the management company, and that's a strong management company, and they'll take care of everything for the person that's invested from A to Z, and you don't have to worry about that. I hate getting calls at 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night going, oh, something happened. Well, that's not going to happen with this type of property. So those are the key elements that I see. Cece?
Thank you, Howard. At least I think from the different perspective that Howard has been in the industry for over 30 years. So he has seen a lot more than me, but I think that's all good news. First of all, the builder's name that Michelle, I actually texted you is called Lincoln Northwest Group LLC. This is for this duplex. Okay. Next thing is the street map that I just want to show. This is a street map that we are building on the particular areas. The yellow part and the red already sold. And also this blue section, that is the newest one of the newest one, and along with the green that we are going to build next year as well. And we already started selling some of the units here. And last week, we already signed 3 contracts already. And we're keep working on a couple of others that we're probably gonna enter another 3 contracts in the one next week or 2 the most. But one thing I do want to point out that is Michelle just left, but she actually went to France that year, Tony, right? She was with KW and visited there. So just want to point out one thing: don't limit your resource and your clientele base, that not only in the United States, but also Brazil or any other countries that people looking for investment. We have the good lenders that they can do the non-foreign, non-residence loan. And we have one of our lenders here today as well. So if you have any particular questions, Elaine, she can help you answer on those things as well. We do handle a lot of the foreign national investors through the years. So any questions that you have, then I think this type investment is one of the safest and most comfortable to get them start with that any type of the investment in US. Okay, any questions? That we are right on time, about 1 hour, and gonna wrap up. Yeah, we can share with you. Yes. Cindy, hi, how are you? Yes, thank you for coming. Yes. Yes, okay, yeah. Yes. Yeah, but we do need your like your registration information. If you can, just your email, your name, and your phone number. That's it. Okay. Yeah, if you can send it to Shirley, yeah, yeah, we will share. So your email, we can forward to your email. Yeah. Okay, this one has one. For this kind, I don't see too much at all, because you know, they are, once you get a house completed, the management company will buy the blinds and install for you. Yeah, and it's just a few $100s to start. Then all the other repair will be covered by the warranty for a while. And for moving out, those kind of stuff, a lot of time they feel if it's a tenant responsibility, they charge from the tenant. I would say probably the max $500 a year would be good. $500 for, yeah, for each unit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's okay. They have been built in the past 6 years, I believe. In Lubbock. Yeah, they've always been in Lubbock. Yeah, actually the video we played, remember he was sitting down with another guy there, that is one of his other house. They sold at about $600,000. Yes, so he's in the early 30s. He has a medical background. He almost became a doctor, but he didn't like that too much. Yes, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, it's because yeah, his father, he's also in the investment and building. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, are we ready? Carla, do you like do the first one for us? Come here, please. This is Carla. She's with us, but she also works with very good other investors as well. Yay! Here we go. The last, well, I didn't hear another one, hoo-hoo, so it must be you. How are you going to do the second one? Oh. Yourself doesn't count.
Oh, no, it's
Oh, this is
32,
not.
I'm sorry, 3272.
Oh, 72. Oh!
Split it with me.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. I hope you all got something. Okay. And I will send you the emails. If you give me your email address, then I can forward you whatever the information you would like to use later. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you.